Welcome to Q&A Wednesday, where we're going to try to answer your questions and comments that were under the Spectrum Xumo TV box videos. So let's go ahead and dive in. First question is the TV remote backlit? No, it's not backlit. The traditional cable box remote is really much better for this feature. You do get a little indicator light at the top between the power and input buttons. When you click a channel or click a button, it'll indicate that. And also the two other exceptions are the voice commands button and the home button do have a little backlighting, but otherwise the rest of the remote is not backlit like the really nice traditional Spectrum cable box remotes where you have every channel number is lit up. Can I use the remote to put the channel numbers in? Yes, you can. That's one of the best things about the setup. You can type in the channel number using the keypad at the bottom and then give it a second and it'll load for you. And there you go. It's really one of the nicest features about it. It makes total sense, and the channel numbers line up to what they were on the old Spectrum cable box. Next question, is there channel up and down buttons on the remote control? No, there's not. So really you have to get into the guide and then use the up or down arrow buttons there, and then click the center button to select your channel. So it's a lot of work just to go, up a couple or down a couple. There's also, when you're in the guide, there's also no there's no dedicated button for page up or page down, so you can't chunk through the guide multiple rows at a time. But there's also no way to do it via a shortcut inside that menu that I can find, so you have to click each channel row one at a time to get through the guide, which is rather tedious. Next question, my channel guide to Spectrum Xumo lists the channels in an odd order. It's not numerical or alphabetical. Can that be fixed? Yep, if you're on the guide, just hold down the center button there, the enter button, and it allows you to change the sort order from name to number or from number to name. So you can either do it alphabetically or you can do it numerically, which is nice. It gives you the option. It's pretty configurable in that regard. That's a nice feature. Next question is, can you use the Spectrum TV app with the Amazon Fire TV? So for this one, I looked up the support page and found what devices you can use the Spectrum TV app on. I only found two for Amazon. There wasn't a ton there. One was a Kindle Fire and one was a Kindle Fire HDX. I'm not sure if that's the same as Fire TV, so if there's any other Amazon users out there using the Spectrum TV app and you can add a comment below, that would be really helpful. But my guess is those are, if it says Kindle, my guess is those are more like tablets than they are the actual Fire TV stick or the Fire TV box. Next question is, assuming I switch over to a streaming package, is it mandatory to have their Xumo device, or can I just use another device? So to get Spectrum TV app, is it mandatory to use the Xumo TV box? No, it's not. I think the other supported devices, first of all, are shown here on the screen, so you can use Apple, Google, Amazon, Roku, Samsung TV, and Xbox One, to name a few. I think it's similar to how Disney Plus, Netflix, and those other subscription services work, where you just need to subscribe and then use their app to watch their content effectively wherever their app is supported. So it does come down to that at the end of the day, but it certainly is not singularly available on the Xumo box. It's available across other hardware. Next question is there a way to change the CC, the closed captions? The text size is too small to read. It is too small to read. I noticed that too right out of the box. If you hit the gear on the remote control, it's on the upper right, brings you to the Xumo settings, and then go to accessibility, then go down 4 rows to customize captions, and then click to the right and click manage. You can change a ton of different features about how the captions appear. Right at the top is size, so I'm just going to focus on that and go from small to medium. It'll show you what it looks like, and I'll go to large and save it there. And then you got to exit back out of this to the home screen, and then go back into the Spectrum app by clicking the Spectrum tile. And unfortunately it turned off my closed captions just because I changed the settings, so I just gotta hit the up arrow, go over to CC, and hit the select button to turn the captions back on. And once it clears the cache here of the small ones, there you see the bigger text is appearing. So yeah, it's relatively it's one of the more customizable features in this interface is the closed captions, which is nice. Next question is, can the app get Spectrum pay-per-view? You know, I looked all around. I looked under I looked under on demand, and I did not see any way to get pay-per-view. It looks like you can, rent or buy movies and shows similar to on any of the stores, Google Play or Amazon Store or Apple TV. But I didn't see anything in here that said, promoted a pay-per-view event, which I can't understand why that would be the case. You would think they would want that across their entire platform to maximize the number of people that could get it, I would think. But again, I don't see a button for it, and I don't see anything in the menu or even under the on-demand content that says that will be available. Next question is, does it support 5:1 Dolby surround sound? So I went into the picture and sound setting on the control center for the underlying Xumo box, the operating system. I found it supports Dolby Digital Plus, Dolby Digital, PCM stereo, and pass-through. But the Spectrum TV app runs on top of that. So what's happening is you can use one of those 4 that I just mentioned, but then the Spectrum TV app will use a subset of that, so probably not all 4 of those. And I don't have anything to test this on because I just have regular stereo 720 HD TV, the original HD TV resolution. So if anybody has any experience with this on the higher end audio, I'd be interested to see where Spectrum comes in terms of what it's going to support. Next question is, can I get local channels on this? Yes, you can, but it costs more for that plan. So on the cheapest plan, which I have, there's no locals included. I use the inexpensive indoor Mohu leaf antenna for the local stations, which it works good enough. I'll link to it below in the description, but it's basically the hardest thing about it is that you have to switch on the remote control. You have to switch your TV's input from antenna to get these channels, the local, versus over to the streaming box to get the Spectrum cable channels. So it's kind of like broken in that regard. Your guide is not joining all that content together. So when you go to the program guide, you're just going to see the Spectrum cable programs on the Spectrum cable program guide, and when you go to the program guide on your antenna, you're just going to see what's on broadcast local channels. So but it avoids a tremendous amount of recurring monthly costs for paying Spectrum for those local channels. So that's kind of why I do it that way. But again, you can have the local channels in Spectrum, so you have one guide, one user interface, everything all in one spot. It just costs a lot more per month. So hopefully these were helpful. If there's any other questions you have, please continue to leave comments and questions in any of the videos, and we'll add to this if there's more. And thank you again for all the conversations. I really enjoy the conversations and the comments. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up or hit the bell to subscribe.